Hello, friends, and welcome to today's discussion. My name is Eric, and I'm looking into the 2018-2019 budget that was presented in Parliament on the 14th of June 2018 by the Cabinet Secretary for National Treasury and Planning, Honorable Henry Rotich. This year's theme of the budget is creating jobs, transforming lives for shared prosperity. Very interesting theme right there. It's also focusing on the government's Big Four agenda, whose pillars are manufacturing, universal health, food security, and affordable housing. Big agendas right there, and each and every Kenyan in the four corners of Kenya is happy and want to see this succeed. There has been a lot of talk in terms of what does this mean? A 3.074 trillion budget. What does it mean? How do we finance it? What will it cost the Kenyans to ensure that the government achieves its agenda? Join me as I discuss this 2018-2019 budget and what it means for you, the common mwananchi. Allow me to take you back to the last term of the retired President Daniel Moi. Just before the Rainbow Coalition took over power in 2002. Remember when we sang Haki Yetu and we took over power from the long-serving president of Kenya under the party KANU. I just want to remind you a few things just to appreciate and also critique a few stuff. One is that back in the year 2002, in the last year of presidency, our budget was 220 billion. Immediately after that, the Rainbow Coalition took over power. Our budget 5 years later was 700 billion. It was around 700 billion. There is a shift, there is an increase in terms of government spending. There's a lot going on in terms of development. Great work. But you see an increase in the budget of the government. By 2013-2014 budget, which was around 1.2 trillion, you also see an increase in terms of budget. But there comes in a change. Remember that in the year 2010, we came with a new constitution. And this constitution gave birth to the county governments. A lot of development is happening at this point, and in particular, one that stands out is the Thika Super Highway, where we spend a lot in developing or building or putting up that road. But again, a question comes: what is the economic return or the economic value for the road that was constructed, that is the Thika Highway? You and me, we can discuss this, we can debate about it, but the economic returns for me are yet to be seen. I just want to take you fast forward to the year 2018-2019. We are talking of a budget of 3.074 trillion, 15 times more than the budget that was there in 2002. What has changed? A lot has changed, and a lot is for the good. We have had the devolved government. We have had a lot of development, including the standard gauge line, the SGR. We have a nice one. A lot of money has been spent there. We have built roads. We have the county government. Just to mention a few stuff, that in this 3.07 trillion budget, 870 billion is going towards paying debt, madeni. That is the principal 470 billion and 400 billion towards interest. That this is money that has been set aside. Of this 3.074 trillion, 870 is going towards paying debt. I could also want to mention that in this 3.07 trillion, we estimate best case scenario, that we will be able to raise 1.4 trillion from taxes and other revenue mechanism from KRA. Be able to raise best case scenario. But remember, analysts say that it is not possible to raise 1.4 trillion as it has been the trend from the past. We have not been able to do this. So it's estimated that we will only be able to raise between 1.2 to 1.3 trillion from our normal revenue collection mechanism. Now, if you raise 1.3 trillion and you pay 470 billion in terms of principal, and you pay 400 billion towards interest, you have salaries and pension, just the government wage bill, it's around 600 billion. Now, to the county government, what we call the county equity share is around 300 billion. Already, you are in debt. What does that mean? I've heard most of our MPs tell us that they did not know that part of this money is going to be raised of VAT on fuel, that the 16% that is causing chaos in the country today. They did not know. Very interesting thing. But this is something they have seen over the years. It's something they have pushed forward and forward for the last 2 years. Now they want to push it again another 2 years. Come on, friends. Let's face it, that our governments, our members of parliament have passed a budget that they don't know how to finance it. That the cabinet secretary presents a budget unto us that he's struggling on how to finance it. But do we blame him? No. It's us living beyond our means. It's us to achieve something that is without. We cannot achieve it. Let's agree, let's accept it that we are living beyond our means. The cost of living, the cost of financing debt is going up every day. Look at the county governments. The last 5 years, what have they done? Someone said that we devolved the government to the county level, but we forgot something else, that we also devolved corruption. Someone also said that corruption begins from budgeting, which is true, and I agree that a lot that is in those budgets is a way that someone is looking to make money. Most of those figures, they are overstated, and some of those spending, they are not necessary to deliver services to the poor Kenyans. We also look to the east, to the west to raise money from loans, and they come back milking us. I'll give you an example of the SGR. We borrowed from them, and if you look at the import data that has just been released, is that we also imported a lot from them. They gave us the money, we gave it back to them, we bought everything again from them. Not only that, we also brought in there to the country to manage the SGR. And how much are we paying? I don't want to go there right now. But again, we are getting ourselves deep and deep into debt. Today, our president is in China. And this is the African Forum, the China African Forum. Just to be able to give you an insight, I was checking out yesterday that the president of China has promised or agreed to give $60 billion towards African development. Again, getting ourselves more and more into debt. And now this does not only apply to Kenya, it applies to all of Africa as a whole. Our income is very small, but our spending is very high. Please, let's live within our income. Let's budget on what we can raise. Poor Kenyans, with the small salary that each and every one of them earns, it says that an average Kenyan earns between 35 to 45,000 shillings per month, out of which he has to pay rent, he has to pay transportation, he has to develop himself, and he has to pay taxes. And we are still looking into how to raise more by taxing the very same Kenyan. Friends, our government, please forgive us, but this is too much for us. Let's live with means. Now just allow me to give you a few insights on how we can be able to manage this and get ourselves out of it, because one analyst says that we have gone back to where we were 20 years ago, which is true, where we are not able to finance our own plans. One way to cut our debts or to manage our spending and finance our budgets is cutting spending, minimizing or reducing waste, and avoid more debt. I'll tell you for free that the 3.074, almost $1 trillion of it, is towards things that are not necessary, that do not add value to the common mwananchi. These are things that can be cut off, and I'm talking of 30% of that budget is waste, and it can be cut down. I repeat, more than 30, almost 30 to 40% of the 3.074 trillion budget can be cut off and still deliver what we promised to our people. It only needs goodwill, both political and also bringing in the right people to look, critically review, evaluate the budget, and sort it in terms of what is necessary and what is unnecessary for the common mwananchi to receive the services that they require so much. Number two is that we need to do more in terms of tax reforms to increase our tax base. I'm saying this because the informal sector is not paying its fair share of taxes, and as a government it has failed to be able to increase that tax base to be able to reach more and collect more revenue. There's a lot of money, billions, that move around the informal sector that are not paying their fair share of tax. We only depend on the very few people who are in the formal sector. This has been the case for the last many years, and with our increased budget, we are still focusing on the very same few people. Come on, Gary, you can do better than that. Do more, increase your tax base, and move forward to collect more from the informal sector itself. Lastly, step number 3 is to invest wisely. Invest where you have economic returns, and I'm very specific, economic returns. A lot of investments, talk of the Thika Superhighway, talk of the SGR, and many other investments, there has been no economic returns. And if there is, I'll be very happy to learn that data that shows the economic value from the Thika Superhighway. I know a lot has happened. The rentals have gone up along Thika Highway. The land value has gone up along Thika Highway. But how does that equate to the revenue that KRA collects? We are looking at the SCR having spent a lot of money in it. How much is the government collecting from that? I beg to understand how much we are collecting in terms of economic returns. Most of the investments that we have put this debt into is not for the benefits of the common wananchi. A lot of this is for the rich and the poor. It's for the rich and not the poor. A lot of these investments, friends, is for those who are the holders of the capital. That's why most of those who run business, they will get their money back. Most of the rich people who negotiate these deals will get their money back. But the common wananchi, whom these investments is to help, is suffering. I urge you and I challenge you, my country Kenya, please, let's cut our spending. Let's not burden our poor people with a lot of taxes. Just to mention the fuel tax. Currently, without the VAT plus 16% that has just kicked in, the costs at the pump, 50 to 60% of it is taxes, both excise and cash. It's just a lot. Putting again 16% on top of that, you're overburdening the poor Kenyans. Look into yourself. Look into yourself internally. Cut your budget. Live within your means. Reform your tax mechanism and strategy and invest wisely. My name's Eric. Subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts and how do we move our country forward together. Thank you.